Hello, everyone, and welcome. Welcome to today's learning event. So my name is Dania Fawaz, and I'd like to welcome you to YouthLead Mentorship Initiatives Learning Event Series on the topic of listening and mentorship relationships. Thank you so much for making the time to be with us this morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are based. So again, my name is Dania, and I'm the Senior Specialist of Youth and Mental Health with Youth Power 2 Learning and Evaluation, and I lead the Mentorship Initiative. So it's really, really great to have you all with us today. To start off, I'd like to give you a sense of what to expect in this next hour together. So we're going to start with a short welcome and overview of the Mentorship Initiative, and then I'll hand it over to Patty Santana from LALA to introduce the organization, and she'll be moderating a discussion with two pairs of mentors and mentees who have engaged with their programs. And then we'll have around 15 minutes for a Q&A, and then I'll come back on to help close us out. So with that, let's dive into our introduction to the YouthLead Mentorship Initiative. So the Mentorship Initiative focuses on connecting youth to content, learning resources, and mentorship networks. While we do not offer direct mentor matching, the goal of our approach is to really enhance leadership skills and to support professional growth within that sphere of mentorship. The initiative is grounded in PYD, or Positive Youth Development, in that PYD highlights the critical role of mentorship in promoting healthy relationships for young people, and also more broadly in contributing to that enabling environment for youth. So we define mentorship at YouthLead very broadly as including a really wide range of activities and stakeholders that identify and link youth to positive role models, whether these be mentors, coaches, teachers, healthcare providers, or community leaders. And as you can see on the screen, the YouthLead Mentorship Initiative is divided into three main areas: collecting and sharing resources on mentorship, connecting YouthLead members with one another, and offering a space to learn more about our partners, such as LALA, who you'll learn more about today in just a moment. So under the mentorship resources component, we also house our learning event series, such as this one, which are live events that we host quarterly. Cole, if you could go to the next slide, please. So this learning series and the topics that we have focused on was developed through feedback that we received directly from YouthLead members during the Mentorship Initiative launch. Our learning events really focus on learning from established mentorship tools and frameworks, furthering the development of mentorship knowledge and practices, and applying practical mentoring advice or information. So you can learn more about the YouthLead Mentorship Initiative and this event series by visiting us online through the link that my colleague Cole would either has shared in the chat or will share in the chat. You can also watch our previous learning event recordings there. We've covered really interesting topics such as finding, assessing, and approaching mentors, or mentorship across cultures. And today we're focusing on the topic of listening in mentorship relationships, all key topics that have been shared by our YouthLead members. And today we're really excited to be collaborating with the Latin American Leadership Academy, or LALA, on this event. They have a robust program where mentorship plays a key role. And today we'll hear more about their program and more from, people who have directly interacted with their programming. And we'll really be focusing on how these different listening skills have supported the development of strong relationships, in addition to hopefully when listening has been difficult, and how to leverage those different skills to support positive relationship building. So with that, let me turn it over to the incredible LALA team, and they will take it from here. So Patricia, over to you.
Thank you, Dana. Hello, everyone. I'm Patricia Santana, most known as Pachi. I'm from São Paulo, Brazil, and I'm the Senior Manager of High Impact Careers at LALA. I'm really excited to be here presenting a little bit more about LALA and about our mentorship program. So I want to thank YouthLead for this invitation to host this conversation with everyone. And before we jump into the subject of this conversation, which is listening, the importance of listening, mentorship relationships, I want to talk a little bit about LALA so everyone knows what is our organization about. So Cole, can you please go to the next slide? So LALA is a nonprofit organization that is being for 5 years now, leading the development of young leaders from Latin America. As most of you might know, Latin America has a huge problem in terms of social mobility and leadership. So the work of LALA is to find, develop, and connect these young leaders from all over Latin America so they can have more access to development opportunities and to be connected with more young leaders just like them that are trying to make positive change in different areas of social issues that we face here. Can you go to the next slide? So as I was saying, the process of LALA, and you might be asking, okay, but how do you do that? How do you find these amazing young leaders from all over these amazing countries? So we have a broad-based selection process. We try as much as we can find talent where people might not think they are. So we try to do that by leading our students to bring more leaders like them. And we are focused on bringing people from all over Latin American countries, but especially from all backgrounds, so we can make sure that the leadership that we are developing are representative of the issues that we are trying to resolve. And after that, after finding all these amazing leaders, we have the boot camps and the ecosystem, which is the system that we have to promote the development of these leaders through amazing initiatives that we have. And then, I will share a little bit more about these initiatives and connecting, which is something that we love. Being here is part of this connection process that we have in terms of making space for these leaders and other networks to participate in LALA work and to promote more opportunities to the partnerships and the supporters that we have all over Latin America and other countries too. And the next slide, I want to share here something really amazing, that we have a 5 days immersive leadership program, which is our boot camps, and you can find a little bit more about the LALA boot camps in the links that I was called to share here in the chat. So if you are asking now, okay, but how can I be part of LALA as a student? You can find all the information in your website. So first, our students join the boot camps, and after participating in these boot camps, they have access to a lifelong access to development ecosystem with all of these programs. So as you can see here, mentorship is one of these programs, is one of our main initiatives in LALA. We are in our 5th edition right now, and we're really proud of all of the process, all of our mentees engagements and mentors especially, because it's really important for our students' development. The mentorship program at LALA is a 4-month mentorship. So our participants have 4 meetings, and they can engage in professional, personal, and holistic mentorship. And we believe that it is so important as a guidance, as our students are seeking to develop more skills, they're facing different and very tough life decisions, and most of them are leading amazing social entrepreneurship organizations. So having a mentor at this stage of their life is really important. And just like YouthLead has an amazing mentorship program, we all know how mentorship nowadays is being such an amazing tool of professional and leadership development for everyone. And here is where we start talking about active listening. At LALA, this is such an important thing, just not for our staff members, but also for all the programs that we promote in our ecosystem. And before we bring the participants that are going to talk about that. Why is this important, and what does that mean for you? I don't know, everyone here participating, does anyone here have participated in a mentorship program? What do you understand by active listening? I think that the main and basic translation for that is the ability to deeply pay attention to what someone is saying to you. In the world that we are living now, there's so many things going on. And have you been paying attention on how much are you listening to the people that are talking to you? To listen to especially what they are not saying. Here at LALA, we believe that listening is something that is one of the most important things in communication, not just talking, but listening too. So to talk about that, we brought here two mentors and two mentees of this last edition of our mentorship program, because we believe the best way to learn is listening from the people that are participating in this program and leading this process. So I have here Mariana, Juliana, Taylor, and Sabrina. And before we jump into the conversation, I have some questions for you all. I want to do something which we do every time we have a LALA moment when we host, which is introducing ourselves in the LALA way. So I will ask, starting with Juliana, to say your name again, so everyone can hear from you. Your name, where are you from, your age, your country, and your shower song. And then I'll ask to the other participants too.
Sure, thank you, Paty. So hello, everyone. My name is Juliana. I am 17 years old. I come from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. And my shower song is Imagine from John Lennon. Happy to be with you.
Thank you, Juliana. And then after Juliana, I'll ask Mariana, Sabrina, and Taylor, so just can jump in after each one, so you can make this quick, and then we jump into the questions. Mariana?
Hello, everyone. My name is Mariana. Very, very happy to be here. I am originally from Medellin, Colombia. I am 29 years old, and my shower song, it varies, it changes all the time, but right now it's Aprender a Quererte from Morat.
Hey guys, my name is Sabrina. I'm 18 years old and I'm from Arapiraca, Brazil, and my shower song is Die For You from The Weeknd.
Hi everyone, I am Taylor, originally from Arizona in the US, calling from Madrid, Spain, and my shower song is Calma, the remix by Pedro, I don't remember his last name, y'all know it though.
Thank you so much for sharing. If you're welcome to share in the chat a shower song, we love sharing this with everyone. And if anyone here in the audience has a shower song too, please feel free to share with us. So to start this conversation, I want to make a question to Juliana, which is one of our mentees. Juliana, in what ways this experience of having a mentor, especially Mariana as a mentor, has impacted you, your life, and your projects?
Thank you, Paty. So the mentorship itself impacted me a lot. It helped me a lot in several things. So in the beginning, I was in doubt if I should join the program because I was very busy in my life. I had many problems to solve within my organization, but it ended up that I subscribed, I applied to the program, and thank God I applied to the program because it ended up saving me much more time, because instead of trying to figure out solutions by myself, I was guided by an experienced person like Mariana, and I could reach much more effective solutions in a shorter period of time than I would have spent trying to figure out things by myself. So I joined the initiative because I wanted to restructure and improve the management of my NGO, Construindo Futuro, or CF. CF is an international nonprofit that empowers teenagers worldwide to develop social and environmental projects for community change. And having founded an organization at 15 years old, I didn't graduate in a business school to know exactly how to structure and manage an organization. I learned it by myself on the internet and really by doing. But a mentorship is exactly like an opportunity for us to learn from people who actually graduated from business schools and who have the expertise to help us in this process. Like Mari, my mentor, she's a Stanford business graduate, and being a mentee, I could receive advice from her knowledge and really to improve my organization's impact and administration. So there was an interesting technique she applied in our sessions. So she said to me, she wouldn't give me advice. She said, like, you are the one who best knows what you should do. So then she would keep asking me questions during the session for me to figure out the solutions by myself. And like by telling her the problems I experienced, I needed to reflect on them and then explain them to her. And then I kept thinking about them. And then together we would reach insights. So I really like this technique of like not just giving me the ready solutions, but it was actually a way she taught me to problem solve, like problem solving, and teaching me the skill to know how to find solutions by myself. And the agenda of our meetings. So usually in the beginning of our meetings, we would just brainstorm like all problems my organization was facing. And then we would just get to the roots of each problem, try to investigate what is the root, what is causing each of these problems. And then we would brainstorm all solutions to those problems, different ways, how could I apply each solution? And then in the end, we would just choose the most effective way. And then in the end of our sessions, she would like set a homework for me. So we would do a to-do list to implement the solutions before our next session. And then in the next session, I would tell her if it worked, if it didn't work, and then we would just work out these solutions together. And it was much more, it was much better because I was not like alone anymore. I could have a mentor with me to help me in the process, and everything worked out in the end. I'm so thankful to Mari. Thank you. And the mentorship in the end impacted my project because I could restructure my organization's teams and systems. My professional life too, because not only about my organization itself, but like Mari could teach me a lot about from best practices in business life, like professional life, how adult life works, because I'm still in school, but it was very interesting to know better like about management, social entrepreneurship, and also personal skills that I will apply in my life, because I learned from organization skills. She taught me a little bit about how to organize the routine, use apps like Google Calendar, Trello, these kind of things, and also social relationships. So in conclusion, my mentorship was so beneficial to me that I really want to continue having these mentorship relationships during my life. And I think it's such an opportunity for growth. Yeah, thank you, Mari, my mentor, and LALA for the program.
Wow, thank you for this amazing speech, Juliana. We learned so much from you. You talked a little about the importance of making questions. And I found this so amazing, like not giving the solutions and the answers to something that you are the lead. And I wanna share with jump into Mariana. Mariana, how was it for you? Juliana shared a bit of techniques, and how was the importance of listening to Juliana actively when she was answering these questions for you in this process of being her mentor?
Yes, thank you, Patty, for that question. And thank you, Julie, for sharing a little bit of our experience together in the mentorship relationship. I think one of the most important and difficult skills for effective coaching or mentorship is to listen attentively. When talking to someone, our tendency is usually to start thinking about what we will say next or what our experience was. in some way, I think we're somewhat afraid of the silence, right? The other person stops talking and then we want to ask something or we want to have something to say. However, during coaching, not only silence is very important, but the best questions to ask will come from listening with all your senses to the coachee. When you're listening, there will be thoughts crossing your mind. Maybe you relate to something the coachee said. Maybe you have a very strong opinion about something they said, or maybe you have an advice for them. But in these cases, it's better to just refocus your attention in what the coachee is saying. Active listening is very hard. Honestly, it is harder than you think it is. But it can really be achieved through practice and by centering yourself. And this applies not only for a coaching relationship or a coaching session, but in general for all conversations that you might have with friends or with family. A quick advice is try to be genuinely curious about what the other person is saying. Listen to really understand. Always try understanding before making assumptions. And listen with empathy to generate connection. Also, as your mentorship relationship progresses, I truly believe that showing that you really care and that you're actively listening, of course, is a key piece to build trust with your coachee. And that trust is going to enable you to go deeper into your coaching relationship, explore just deeper topics, and make the sessions overall more effective. It's going to make the coachee share with you deeper problems that they might have and come up with more interesting solutions. With Julie in particular, we were like building a puzzle together. I did my best in every session to be as curious as I could about what she brought to the table, to understand the details of what she was telling me, how Construyendo Futuro worked, what she wanted to do, what her ideas was, what the background was. That led me to ask the right questions, not always, of course, but to generally try to guide her with the right questions. And ultimately, that would lead her to find her own answers. That is a little bit of what she talked about earlier. It happened to me very often that I related a lot with what she was telling me, with the problems that she had. Maybe it was a problem that I also had in the past. And you're going to have, as a mentor, you're going to have this sensation of, I want to tell her what I did. I want to show her the path that I took. I want to tell her my experience. But by helping her to find her own answers, we were able to be even more effective and come up with even better solutions because we're not the same people, right? She is the one who knows better her situation, and she can come up with the best ideas. I can always compliment and I can always brainstorm together, but encouraging her to and guiding her to find those answers is way more effective.
Thank you, Mariana, so much. Wow, we're learning so much this morning. Something that resonates with me a lot from what you said is the importance of being present in the moment. And it's so hard sometimes because we are multitasking so much, like we are here and never else. So when someone is talking to us, we are thinking about home and work and someone that is passing by. So I think we all can learn a lot from your perspectives and thoughts. Thank you so much for sharing. And I want to hear, like we're hearing from mentors, so let's hear from another mentor, Taylor. We usually say here at LALA that this mentorship program that we have is an impactful program, not only for mentees, but also for mentors, because mentors end up learning and so much about themselves and about other skills that they develop while being a mentor. So Taylor, in what ways this mentorship relationship with Sabrina impacted you as a mentor, as a person, as a professional?
That's a great question. So I started mentoring with LALA when the program first started a couple of years ago, and it's interesting to see how what's going on in your life will often line up with what's going on in the mentee's life. And what impacted me the most with Sabrina was that I just finished this very intense graduate program, and I was feeling really not wanting to learn more things on the side. I'm always learning on the side. And then to meet Sabrina, who is working on with two different organizations, one her own supporting another, and also applying to go to university and taking courses to better prepare her for the different things she's interested in, and just to see her handle her schedule so well and still make that space for personal development alongside her professional development, and even making time to take a trip to the beach with her family and understanding that importance of that balance. And it was really refreshing because that's something I'm always trying to work on helping people do. And I'd lost sight of that a little bit in myself, especially when I was finishing my own studies and just not feeling like studying again. And now here I am this week. I got back online to do some more online learning courses that are focused on what I'm trying to do going forward. And so that's been such a big impact on my life. And I'm really grateful that we had that opportunity to meet when we did and at this point in time, and have supported each other that way going forward.
Thank you, Taylor, for sharing this. And we never know how much we can learn when we join this mentorship program. So about ourselves, I mean, so I enjoy everyone here listening to take a leap of faith and join a mentorship program at LALA, at YouthLead, or any other program that you might resonate with. And Sabrina, we want to hear from you. So what were the skills that you believe that you most developed in your mentorship relationship with Taylor?
Thank you, Patty. So I think that Lala's mentorship was the key to my self-development, as I had the opportunity to receive wonderful insights from Taylor that teaches me a lot about my role as a change maker. Like I participate in some social projects like Opportunizo and English 101. So I'm always in contact with people from different backgrounds. And at the mentorship program, I learned new skills that are really present like right now on my projects. And I feel that the skills that I developed the most during the mentorship program was related to relationship building. Because like first, I think that the first one that I learned the most was receiving feedback, because I always struggled on receiving feedback because I put myself in the position of being defensive and like just focusing on myself. But after the mentorship, I started to be open to listen to someone else's opinions about what things I'm doing, if I'm doing right, if I'm doing wrong, to be really receptive to new ideas and different opinions. And I think that with this, we have like we started to know that we can learn from different opinions, and there is not only one way to do something. We can do, I think, with different points of views, and it's really important to me that Taylor led me to know that I can do things not in only one way, but in different kind of ways. And also another skill that I think that I developed the most at this mentorship was effective listening, as we were talking about previously, because I think that I gained a clear understanding of my mentor perspective. And by that, we started having like similar experience conversations, as Taylor talked that she was finishing her graduation, and I'm about to start college. So she always talked a lot about IE University, and now I want to apply to IE University because I fell in love with these institutions throughout our conversations. So I think that in our conversations at the mentorship, we put some ideas at the table that are very similar, because I was able to be an effective listener. So I think that this kind of skills are really important and had an extreme impact on my social project, as I started to use what I learned with Taylor on my social projects. Like I have Opportunism project as one of my main projects, that is a social educational project that democratize academic opportunities for young people, and also a English 101 that offer that offer classes to low-income students that are preparing to study in the US. So all of those projects really seeks someone that are really prepared to be on a leadership position. And with LALA mentorship program, I started to learn new skills that are saving me on those projects. So I am really glad to have the time to meet with Taylor, and also I am really glad to be part of LALA, because this program is always helped me a lot on my development as a change maker.
Thank you, Sabrina, for sharing. We are also in love about LALA. Thank you for sharing this love too with everyone here. I don't know if anyone in the chat has have any in the audience have any questions. Cole has been sending some nudging here, so if you want to share any questions you might have for our mentors or mentees, please feel free to share. But Sabrina mentioned about relationship building, and there is something really important in a mentorship relation or any relation, which is building trust. So I want to make this question for Taylor and Mariana, because like the difference of age and sometimes the moments of life, when you start a mentorship program with someone young, you have to start by doing something, I don't know, to build that trust. So how do you do that? What are your techniques, or what is something that you tried before that you feel like sharing? So I'll go with Mariana, and then Taylor can jump in and share her perspective.
Thank you, Patty. This is such an interesting question. I think one of the things that has helped me a lot to build trust is, and I go back to the other question that you asked me, is to listen attentively, really, to show that you really care, that you're interested genuinely in the other person's issues or what they're bringing to the table, and you're not interested in just putting your own story in the table. So that I think is key. I think another piece would be humble. There's going to be differences between you both. In this case, for example, I have more experience than Julie, of course, because I'm older, but she's doing so many things, and she is, I mean, I can learn so much from her, genuinely. So being humble and also trying to learn from the coachee also enables you to build trust in the long term as the relationship progresses. And also, I would say showing up for each other in a way of, if you say you're going to follow up with the coachee, help them in whatever they need. If they need you at some point, maybe put up some extra time to chat with them or talk to them. Don't be late to your meetings. Of course, those little things that enable you to have a more structured relationship and to also build that trust.
Awesome. So I'll jump in too. I think you spoke to a lot of key components there, Mariana. So thank you for that. Something for me, when I start all of these calls, I think it's very common that they start off more formal. You don't know each other. You've been matched. You've never met. You get an email that I know it's a structured email introducing yourself. LALA does a great job teaching their mentees how to reach out to people. So I do love seeing that and seeing it put into action. I love seeing when people send you the calendar invite and are really putting all those practices into use. And then it's going beyond that, though, because I think it's like any relationship, though. I mean, no matter what your age, this is something that shows up in any formal work environment. And what I find the most interesting is we're entering into this more formal space. And so building that trust for me comes from, you keep the respect there through these formalities. But then, even as Mariana mentioned, this really actively listening and knowing what the other person's looking for. But I think too, just those feelings that they're going through and knowing that everybody's going through different feelings and being able to acknowledge that. And I think there's so much more core levels there to get to know, because you automatically have that first call and you learn about the projects that people are working on. You learn about what they're doing at school, if they're out of school, what the next steps are. And that's just the natural process of the conversations. And so it's getting to know each other and unearthing those, okay, but so why are you interested in this? What's that background? What's led you to decide to go to these universities, and uncovering more and more of that. And then it opens up this trust, and that opens up bigger and deeper conversations, and is something too that then, even as a mentor, you become more trusting in your mentee and sharing certain aspects with them and asking for help. And it's really amazing when you're able to ask for help from your mentee and that they can give that to you. And for me, that's really that trust coming full circle, and it shows both parties how to continue to provide that safe space of trusting others and building relationships to that degree.
Thank you so much, Mariana and Taylor, for sharing your perspectives on how to build trust. These are really useful insights. We have one question shared here in the chat. I will share with you, and then you can decide who wants to answer. So, encourage your mentee to become a good decision maker is important. Mariana noted making mentees feel empowered. So the question is, any tips on how mentors can encourage mentees to use their mentors as a sounding board rather than just asking their mentor what they should do about everything? Anyone? Taylor, Mariana, or even Juliana and Sabrina, if you welcome to answer that.
Happy to talk a little bit about these. I think it's going to, for Julie and I, it was important at the beginning to talk about some grounding rules of our coaching relationship. And in that, and this is where she mentioned when answering her question at the beginning, that I told her, here's how I propose or how I suggest that we manage it. I think it's more effective for us to just brainstorm together, but for me not to give you the answers of what I would do in that case, but to empower you and to guide you to find your own answers. And because if you don't set those rules and you don't explain the why you're going to manage it that way and ask so many questions, they're going to be thinking, and that has happened to me in the past, they're going to be thinking, hey, why isn't she telling me what I'm asking her? Why isn't she telling me what to do in this case? Like, this is not being very effective. So it's important for you to explain, and the methodology might vary, but in my case, that's what I found was effective, how you will treat the coaching relationship. And in my case, it was, hey, I want to empower you to find the own answer. So that way, as we both agreed with that methodology through the session, she was more open to being empowered and to bringing her ideas. And I would guide her into, hey, why don't we go this route? Or, oh, that was a great idea, let's explore it further. And as the coaching sessions progressed, she was able to apply some of the ideas that we brainstormed and see that they were effective or not. And if they were not, then we would learn something new from that experience. And that was also very effective in general.
Thank you, Mariana. Taylor, do you want to share something too?
Yeah, I think, and that was some amazing insights there, and something for Sabrina and I that we did a lot too. I think when you talk about mentees asking what they should do and providing that sounding board, again, that's something that comes into the beginning of the relationship building, and just making it a space where you can talk about what you're wanting to do, ideas that you have. And over time, you naturally get away from seeking advice and that what should I do? And instead moving forward, looking at it as, okay, what am I able to do? What do I want to do? And being able to state those interests, those desires, those wants, those needs, and just have somebody to talk about it with, and no longer looking at your mentor as somebody that you're trying to seek permission from or who you need to validate you. And I think once you do that, it's really important because you realize that sense of self-validation going forward, and that sometimes you can just talk it through with yourself or anybody really, and that it helps to talk it through rather than seeking that permission or figuring out if it's the right thing or not, and just trusting yourself and trusting what you're capable of and making those decisions for yourself. Sabrina's done a great job with that.
Thank you, Mariana and Taylor. I want to hear from Juliana and Sabrina. So I have a question here. And this is something really connected to what Mariana and Taylor said about defining these initial agreements in the beginning of the relationship, like how is it going to work, and being open to define together. So Juliana, how do you define what challenge do you want to discuss with your mentor? So for a first-time mentee, this is something I hear a lot, like, okay, I want to have a mentor, but I don't know what to share. There's so many things going on. I want to share everything, and it's just like 4 or 5 or 6 meetings. How do I do that? So how was it for you to define in the beginning what challenge you would like to discuss with Mariana? How was this process for you?
So like for me, it was a little more natural because I already went to the mentorship with those problems in my mind that I was dealing with my organization. But as you said, sometimes there are so many at the same time that I would get to a meeting with Mari and like, which one do we work first? So I think it was nice, this initiative that we had of brainstorming in the beginning, like just trying to figure out like together, to set together what are the goals for our mentorship, like what do I want to achieve, what are all the things I wanted to do and to talk to her about. So then we would just brainstorm everything and set the goals. So for example, I want to restructure the marketing team of my organization. I want to learn how to set the impact. I want to have more effective relationships with my team. Just set the goals for them to be a guide of your mentorship, so that it doesn't become like too free, you know, like just changing the topic all the time and you just can follow a line. And in the first meeting, the agenda of the first meeting was basically this, you know, in the beginning, we would get to know a little bit more about each other. So just not start the meeting just talking about the problems and the projects. You know, I think it's nice to build this trust, just like they have been talking now. So we would just share a little bit of our stories, and I would ask her some questions about her story, and for example, questions that we can connect. So I asked her like, what are your favorite Harry Potter character? Just for us to connect in this human connection too, you know, not only professional, so that together we could have a more stronger bond. And then we could just follow through the problems of my project and define the most urgent ones to begin. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Ju, for sharing this. How about you, Sabrina? Did you have the clarity of what challenge you wanted to discuss with your mentor, or was something that you had to define along the meetings?
So as Julian said, at first we have a time to make a brainstorm to really get to know what are our goals. And at the beginning of LALA mentorship program, we received Google Sheets, all personalized to help us find our goal and in what ways our mentor can help us achieve that goal. And from that, I did a little research on Taylor's background to see her experiences and skills so that I can define what we are going to work throughout the mentorship. So after that, I chose 2 to 3 main components that I wanted to work with her. And like one of them is like improve my communication and team management skills, because I learned that she has experience in this small business development. So I think that she can help me with tips about project management. Also, I was really struggling on my career choice. So we talked a lot about this, and she even gave me some materials from her like academic background on economics and all of these things. And I was always like talking to her about my academic interests in what I am doing right now to be prepared to college. So I'm doing research in economics right now, and she was working and she was also working with research. So we have these similar interests and ideas that we were always talking in our meetings. So I think that after I put on the paper what are my goals, and to see on Taylor what is her background, we can define better on how this mentorship will go throughout the months that we have, like 4 to 5 months, and also after the program, because we are always in contact with each other. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing this. Lifelong relationship, that's one of our main goals with the mentorship program, because the program ends, but the relationship you build continues. So this is really important. We have another question for mentees, for Ju and Sabrina. The question is, did you learn anything about yourself during your mentoring relationship that was a pleasant surprise? Juliana, do you want to answer that? Did you learn something about yourself that was like, oh, wow, I didn't know that about me?
Sure. So in the beginning, I think it was interesting to see this problem-solving skill I developed like Marty, because in the beginning, I was with an expectation that it wouldn't work this way that we are talking right now. You know, I would just get advice and I would ask for advice, and Marty would come with the ready solutions for me. But it was really interesting how she could conduct me and help me get to the answers myself. And it was really nice to see how I could have this ability, you know, to do it too. And it was very, very interesting to see that, and to know that it's not only me, but like anyone here can have also this ability to get to the solutions. It's just learning the process of how to get there, and that's the role of the mentor, you know, just conducting you on how to get there, but like so that I can apply these things I learned with Mari throughout my life. So yes, that was a surprise.
That's nice. And you, Sabrina, did you learn something about yourself that was a pleasant surprise?
I don't think that it's like the right thing, but on our last meeting with Taylor, we were talking about my improvement throughout the mentorship program. And one of the things that I really wanted to learn and improve at the mentorship was my communication skills, especially in English, because I always struggled a lot talking in another language. But I was very surprised that Taylor was really like congratulating me about my English skills, that I improved a lot, and she saw my improvement throughout the months. So I was really happy to see that she paid attention in those kind of details on my on myself. So I think that I was very happy, and it was a great moment at the end of the mentorship to see that I really did an improvement and learn a new thing that I will use a lot in my life as I want to study abroad, and I will have to speak in English like every day. So yeah.
Oh, this is so amazing. Thank you so much. I'm so sad that we are coming to the end. We could continue this conversation for hours. There is so much and so many things to learn from and with everyone here, especially in the audience. So I'm heading to the end of our call, but I wanna share some key takeaways that I gather here, so we can now leave this session like, okay, what did I learn? And I encourage you all that are here to go to this recording after we finish and take notes, because I'm going to do that. There's so many good insights here. So something about listening actively that helps you, something that we learned here, that listening helps you to build trust, stay in the moment, and identify issues and find better solutions. And I realize that this goes for both sides, just not the mentors as the responsibility of being there present, but also the mentees, because if they're not listening to the questions their mentors are making, that wouldn't make sense either. So this goes both ways to identify issues and better solutions. This is also important to make, we talked about the importance of making questions to lead to problem solving. We learn about the importance of curiosity. This is super important. Making questions. Why? Oh, but how do you feel about that? These are simple things that makes the active listening more present in these relations. It requires time and practice. So it's not something that you read in a book and say, okay, now I'm an expert in active listening. You need to practice, we need to try, we need to help, ask for help. How do we do that? How can we ask people that are more used to do that to learn from these people? So practicing, pay attention, show interest, and listening with empathy. I love that. I think Mariana shared that, or Taylor, or both. But empathy is so important in these relationships. We need to listen, but also try to put ourselves in the other person's position before making and jumping to conclusions and assumptions. So this is something that resonates a lot with my heart, listening with empathy, especially when we come from different backgrounds, different realities, with different opportunities in life. So I just want to thank you so much for this moment, Mariana, Taylor, Sabrina, and Juliana, for being part of LALA, for engaging our program with such good care. This is so important for us. And I want to hand over to Dania or Cole to make our final closing here. And I thank you everyone for this moment.
Thank you. Discussion. Thank you for also being collaborators with us on this learning event and for sharing more about LALA as an organization and your mentoring relationships. I really, really hope that everyone in the audience today, and also those who will likely watch this as a recording later on, can learn from the experiences and the insights that you've shared. I know I have learned so much from this session. And as Patty already shared, I'm going to be watching it back, taking some notes. I know that the one thing that I did write down as we were in this discussion that Patty already highlighted was listen with empathy to generate connection. And that's really one thing that I'm taking with me at the close of our call today. So thank you. Going back to our mentorship initiative, we will be continuing to offer more learning events every few months. So please do keep an eye out for more announcements on our website and also in our newsletter on social media. I really encourage you all to check back regularly, to also read more about our featured resources on the website and more just to learn more about mentorship in general. We obviously need all of your help to grow the mentorship initiative, to get the word out, to get more people to both attend and engage in these, attend these events and engage in these conversations. And we invite all of our YouthLead members, and if you're not a member, please do sign up on youthlead.org to really share feedback with us about the page, about the recommended resources, or about more information on mentorship programs and networks that you have participated in and that you would like to share with the YouthLead community. Also invite your friends and colleagues to explore the page and to come to future learning events. At the bottom of this the slide, you can see our email addresses. That's also my email address up there. So please do feel free to share any feedback or comments or suggestions. If you'd like to partner and collaborate on a future learning event, that's completely open. We love to have these conversations and love to engage in learning more about mentorship from those who have direct experience of mentorship relationships. So thank you all for spending your Wednesday morning, afternoon, or evening with us, and we look forward to seeing you again soon. Take care, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.